John Gruden and Marvin Lewis, they coached together in 1991 at the University of Pittsburgh. We'll take a deeper dive into that relationship throughout the game. Only the second time they've met as head coaches, though, 2006. The other time Gruden was with Tampa Bay and his Buccaneers beat the Bengals. As we mentioned already, pretty mild day for mid-December, 48 degrees, cloudy skies. Cincinnati won the toss. They have elected to defer. The way their defense has played this year, some people have been calling for Marvin Lewis to accept the football, try not get in a hole early. That is not the case again today, as Dwayne Harris is on the return for the Raiders and spun down inside the 20 by Clayton Fedulum. There is a flag down on the field, and our referee today is Alex Kemp. Raiders coming off an impressive win over the Steelers last week. Bengals have lost 5 straight.
Hands in the face, kicking team number 16. That 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down, Oakland.
So Cody Core called for the penalty on Cincinnati. Derek Carr, who last week in that win over the Steelers threw for 322 yards and 2 touchdowns. And as we mentioned, 8 straight games without an interception. That is a franchise record for the Raiders. First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Doug Martin on first down, slips a tackle and crosses the 35. And Martin picks up 8 on first down. Hardy Nickerson on the tackle. Big storyline today for the Raiders. Without their starting guards, Kelechi Osemele out with a toe injury. Gabe Jackson will not play with an elbow injury. So Chaz Green and Denzel Good are the starting guards for the Raiders today, as Seth Roberts will give Oakland a first down. Sean Williams on the tackles. We take a look at the Cincinnati defense and keep an eye on Geno Atkins going up against those backup guards in the interior of the defense for Cincinnati. And Dre Kirkpatrick returns after missing last week with an ankle injury. And movement up front, and we have another penalty marker.
And it looked like Geno Atkins, who you just mentioned, he saw the quarterback in the backfield, knew that it was an empty pass rush situation.
Defense number 97, 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
It is on Geno Atkins, a little excited to attack those backup guards.
And when that backfield is empty, you know the quarterback's going to get rid of the ball quickly, and you need to get off on the snap or try and anticipate it, but not by a full count like he did right there.
Marvin Lewis once again calling the defensive plays for Cincinnati after Terrell Austin was fired in early November.
Hey, rip this! Rip! Yeah.
Here's Carr over the middle, intercepted and dropped. Sean Williams had a pick 6 in his vision, and he could not hold on to the football. And that was nearly the first pick for Carr since early October.
And Carr's expecting his receiver Aitman to break that route off, to hook it up. It's an empty set. You get a lot of pressure on the outside, and miscommunication between quarterback and receiver, almost interception. Like you said, going for a pick 6 because there was green turf in front of him. I always want to say green grass, green turf.
And Williams leads the team with 4 interceptions, so hands have not been a problem for the strong safety, except on that play. Second down and 5. It's Jalen Richard. He does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1. Geno Atkins on the tackle. Brings up third down and 6. Most consecutive starts without an interception since 1970. Tom Brady 11 straight in 2010. Carr, as we mentioned, about to, or at least hoping to join this list now with 8 straight starts without a pick.
And like we saw, there's got to be some good fortune in there where the defenders don't intercept the pass that you throw right to them.
It's 3rd and 6. Carr down the sideline for Cook. Adjustment incomplete. And it was Williams who had the coverage. We mentioned in our 12:30 hit on the NFL Today, you'll see a lot of Williams on Cook today.
And in that first matchup, you know, we talk about John Gruden going up against Marvin Lewis. head coaches. Well, it's offensive coordinator for the Raiders and defensive coordinator for the Bengals. So that little tilt goes to Marvin Lewis.
Here's the rookie punter, Johnny Townsend, with Alex Erickson back deep for Cincinnati. And it's a short kick by Townsend. And Erickson fields it at the 19. And he is spun down at the 22-yard line. What a rough year for the rookie punter, Johnny Townsend, a 5th-round pick out of Florida. Jeff Driscoll and the Bengals offense set to take the field when we return. So the Bengals defer. They do stop the Raiders, and they get the football here with Jeff Driscoll coming off 170 yards passing in the loss last week in L.A. against the Chargers. His 3rd career start. Had not appeared in an NFL game until this season. Andy Dalton out with the surgery on his thumb, so 3rd straight start for Driscoll, looking for his first victory as an NFL starting quarterback. And on first down, he hands off to Joe Mixon. Mixon up to the 30-yard line. 8-yard pickup from Mixon following the blocks of that offensive line, which has Cordy Glenn returning to left tackle. He missed the last 3 games with a back injury. There's Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator for Cincinnati. Installed his offense in the offseason, and it was the offense that Jay Gruden had founded here in Cincinnati. Cody Core goes in motion, and we have a false start on the Bengals.
False start, offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
And that is the NFL leading 27th false start against the Bengals this year. As Lazor called it this week, it's an embarrassment. And this one goes on Alex Redmond.
If you have hair, it makes it fall out or turn gray. You're on the coaching staff.
2nd down and 7. There's Mixon. Nowhere to go on the left. Trying to reverse course and taken down. Markel Lee with a loss of 2 on the play.
You have now gone from 2nd and 2 to a 3rd down and 9, a tough situation. You're letting the Raiders kind of get off on the good foot here. Your defense went out. They had a stop. Now you have to come in and manufacture a play on 3rd down where your quarterback's going to have to hold the ball. You've got some good receivers out there. You've got Giovanni Bernard, who you really love in the passing game, who's up top.
Empty backfield for Driscoll on 3rd down and 9. Driscoll taking a deep shot for Ross. Adjustment, he's out of bounds. Coverage on the play by Darryl Worley. And Cincinnati will send out its punt unit.
Nice job by Darryl Worley, kind of making John Ross move toward the sideline, not giving the quarterback enough room to throw the ball in bounds. John Ross has to do a better job in squeezing that more to the inside and leaving your quarterback the chance to throw the ball over your outside shoulder.
And we met with Driscoll yesterday morning. He told us one of the keys today to hit on some deep shots. Let's see if we can stretch the field vertically with Ross. So that's exactly what happened on their first possession. Just didn't hit on it. It's Harris from the 35. And Harris is taken down there at the 35-yard line. 4 minutes into the first quarter, no score in Cincinnati.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Try our game day menu. Garmin. Get a Garmin smartwatch and beat yesterday. And by T-Mobile. Whether you're home or away, T-Mobile has you covered.
Raiders fans always travel well. A number of them here in attendance today. The home finale for the Bengals. They're on the road the final 2 weeks of the season. No score, 2nd drive for the Oakland offense led by Derek Carr, now in his 5th year out of Fresno State. Doug Martin, the running back, on 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Carr throwing, and it's complete to Jordy Nelson. And Nelson with a 9-yard pickup. Darquez Denard on the tackle. Nelson last year as a member of the Packers had 2 touchdowns in a game against the Bengals as Carr creeps closer to the franchise record for most pass attempts without an interception. Our colleague Rich Gannon might lose his spot in the record books.
I don't think he'll mind. There's Jared Cook out there as a single receiver, and you're trying to get him matched up one-on-one.
Carr looking that way and completes it to Cook. What a season for Jared Cook. That's his 62nd catch of the year.
You questioned him when he came into our meeting. You said, you're 4 inches taller, you're 50 pounds heavier. He said, well, I get that all the time, but when I'm lined up close, people get extra hands on me. Outside wide, it's one-on-one coverage.
Now, I was comparing him to Sean Williams.
Not you,
Not
yeah.
me.
He's about 100 pounds on you.
That's to be generous.
Same.
Second season with the Raiders as they've moved into Cincinnati territory. Carr. And Nelson incomplete. And it was Williams who had the coverage.
There's a little bit of versatility in Williams. We saw him matched up against Jared Cook, a tight end. Now he's matched up against a wide receiver. So he's got to be able to run one-on-one. His car getting bumped around a little bit. Another little dent in our car.
There's Carlos Dunlap, who had the fender bender with Carr. 42 sacks this season for Derek Carr. That is a career high. Second down and 10 with Seth Roberts in motion. It's a handoff to Richard. And Richard maybe gets a yard out of that and brings up 3rd and long. The Cincinnati defense dead last in the NFL in 3rd downs. 52% of the time the opponents convert. It's close to the all-time record.
And what's crazy about that, they have good pass rushers, and on the back end at corner, they have 3 first-round corners playing in coverage, so you would expect them to be able to get the job done. And that's why Marvin Lewis is now calling these plays as opposed to his ex-defensive coordinator, Terrell Austin.
On 3rd and 9, Hubbard with the sack, and the ball comes out. Sam Hubbard, sack, fumble, who's got it? It's Cincinnati football. 5th sack this season for Sam Hubbard. Carr never saw him coming.
It's a rookie matchup, one-on-one. Colton Miller against Sam Hubbard. Ohio State's a little bit better than UCLA on this play.
Carlos Dunlap is the one who came away with it. The fumble recovery for Cincinnati. Great pressure by Hubbard. Dunlap falls on it. And it's Cincinnati football when we come back. Derek Carr loses a fumble for the 2nd straight week. He's now lost a career-high 6 on the season, and the Bengals take over right near midfield. 1st down and 10. A play fake with Driscoll loading up deep again. Can he find his man? It's picked off. Intercepted by Eric Harris. His first career interception, and the Raiders take the football right back.
Eric Harris never vacated center field. You can see the ball is a little bit underthrown. John Ross at the combine, 4.22 in the 40. You've got to be able to throw the ball even further to throw it to this young man. Ball's underthrown. Eric Harris does a nice job in playing the ball and not worrying about where the receiver is going up, taking it away at the high point.
Eric Harris, undrafted out of California in Pennsylvania, spent 3 years in the CFL with Hamilton. He's had quite a journey here to the NFL and now has his first NFL interception. So back-to-back turnovers. The Raiders offense back out there from their own 6-yard line. Doug Martin on 1st down, and Geno Atkins wrestles him down.
Well, one of the things that you love doing at practice during the summer, during training camp, is you have a drill where the offense is going to go. But then all of a sudden you have a sudden change, and all the guys who play defense been lounging on the sideline, drinking Gatorade. You make them run back out onto the field and get ready to play and have that mentality to go out there and get a stop, because now the Bengals have a chance to stop the Raiders, back up, and get that ball back if they don't allow a first down.
Monday.
No toe.
Son. Blue eye. Son.
It's a play fake. Carr in his own end zone. Chased by Willis, and he throws it away. And it's quickly 3rd down and 9.
Boy, that's really a good job on the bootleg, because on the bootleg you have a deep route going this way, then you're going to have crossing routes. And Sean Williams, who we've been talking about, does a great job in matching up against Lee Smith. There's nowhere for Derek Carr to throw the ball. Smartly throws it away out of bounds once he leaves the tackle box.
Let's see if the Bengals defense can make another stop on 3rd down. Oakland is already 0 for 2. Carr, pass deflected, and it's incomplete. Officials have not blown the whistle in case it's a fumble. This clearly looked like an incomplete pass. Now they are saying it's incomplete. So
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass. 4th down.
Kirkpatrick with the spike anyway, but another 3rd down stop by the Cincy defense.
See, we see the ball move forward, but we don't know if it's an empty hand and that ball's been knocked forward by the defenders. And the officials smartly, they get together, they conference. Did the ball go forward? Yes, it did. We make the call. You know, there was a delay. Made the Bengals anxious, but the right call.
So last in the NFL in 3rd down defense, Cincinnati has now stopped Oakland all 3 times on 3rd down. And they get the ball with great field position after the fair catch by Erickson, just a 39-yard punt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Macy's. And by Aquaman. In theaters Thursday. Rated PG-13.
That's the Cincinnati Zoo's resident elf, recently spotted delivering some holiday gifts to the animals. As we mentioned, home finale for the Bengals, so a lot of fans dressed up with the holidays approaching. After the short punt, good field position here for Cincinnati. Mixon on 1st down up the middle. Mixon runs into a host of Raiders led by Jason Kabinda, undrafted linebacker out of Penn State. 7.5 to go in the first quarter. There is Paul Gunther, who spent 13 seasons on the Cincinnati sideline. In his first year as defensive coordinator of the Raiders, he said coming back here is going to be, quote, weird after he coached up so many of these Bengals defensive players. Driscoll, chase to the air. It's a screen to Mixon, and he can't get away from Maurice Hurst. Nice play by the rookie out of Michigan, who did not play last week because of an ankle injury. It was Arden Key, another rookie, who was applying the pressure.
That is really a nice job by Maurice Hurst. He's being blocked by the center, Billy Price. Doesn't overrun the play, keeps his eyes on the running back. And you have to really be a good reader of linemen. What they're doing, are they really trying to pass block us, or is it going to be a screen? Nice job by Hurst.
Raiders are hoping those are 2 players that'll be cornerstones of their defense for years to come. On 3rd down, it's a quick pass to Ross, and it's Arden Key again, catching up with the speedy Ross, and the Bengals are 2 yards shy of a 1st down. Now Marvin Lewis, very aggressive last week against the Chargers, and it looks like he's going to keep it rolling here by keeping the offense on the field.
Well, for Randy Bullock, their field goal kicker, who's 1 out of 4 from 50 yards, this would be a 50-yarder. So I think this is a smart call, maybe a little bit of an emotional call, but you can get 2 yards. I would love to see Joe Mixon in the game, but Giovanni Bernard is in the backfield next to your quarterback.
4th down and 2. Driscoll, and it is caught for a 1st down. Tyler Boyd with his first catch, a pickup of 7. And he's now 3 yards away from 1,000 on the year. Marvin Lewis, the gamble pays off.
And Boyd is just waiting, and then comes inside, and a really sure-handed catch with the defender right on your back, in traffic, eyes on the football, everything that you want on that 4th down attempt.
Last week, the Bengals went for 2 twice, didn't get it either time. They lined up to go for it on 4th down 3 times. Now, twice they backed off because of penalties. The one time they did go for it, Mixon was stopped. They do convert that one to keep this drive going, and Mixon is met by Markel Lee. Raiders just 1-8 in their last 9 road games. The win came last month, last second field goal down in Arizona. Second down and 7. And Driscoll back to the air to Boyd. He's got 1,000 yards and he's got a first down. What a season for Tyler Boyd as he becomes the first Bengal not named A.J. Green to go over 1,000 yards receiving in a season since Chad Johnson back in 2009.
You saw the one-on coverage on the outside, the nice release, and then the stick at the top of the route. What we didn't get to see is Jeff Driscoll standing in the pocket, pressure in his face, knowing exactly where he wanted to go. Tyler Boyd's always a good option.
He said he's going to keep that football, bring it back to his mom so she can put it on the mantle. Mixon on 1st and goal, and he is stood up. That was Nicholas Morrow crashing down to make the tackle a loss of 1.
We talked about the Raiders offensive line in the middle. Well, it's the Bengals offensive line in the middle. Here's an unblocked defender right in the hole that you want to do. The running back has to read the hole. The linebacker has to read where he thinks the hole is going to appear. That time, linebacker winning over running back.
Now, the Bengals have had a lot of success in the red zone this season. Number 2 in the NFL. They scored touchdowns at a 75% rate. Only Pittsburgh has been better. Second and goal.
A lot of that is through the air.
To the air this time, but it's incomplete as Driscoll could not find Mixon. Brings up 3rd down and goal. Raiders defense trying to hold Cincinnati to a field goal attempt.
You know, you would think when you get down near the goal line, inside the 10-yard line, that you throw to your bigger receivers. Ross, who's small but fast, has 4 of his 6 touchdown receptions inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, their bigger targets are all on IR. A.J. Green, Tyler Eifert, Tyler Croft. 3rd and goal to Boyd. Did he get in? He did! Touchdown, Tyler Boyd! So what a drive for the 3rd-year man out of Pittsburgh. He goes over 1,000 yards receiving, and he scores his 7th touchdown of the year.
That's a lot of toughness, just being physical. You've got a corner on your back. You've got a safety knowing he's inside who wants to lay a big pop on you. Tyler Boyd coming in there, disregarding both those defenders, making a great catch, securing that football.
That's his 5th red zone touchdown of the year. And now 6 of his 7 touchdowns this season have come here in Cincinnati at home. Bengals strike first, 7-0 and over the Raiders. Jeff Driscoll has his 4th career touchdown pass, this one to Tyler Boyd, and what a season it's been. You look at his first 2 years in the league, 76 catches, 828 yards. Well, how about this year? Almost surpassing his total now from the first 2 years and over 1,000 yards for the first time in his career.
And they got an early scouting report on him. Marvin Lewis's dad saw him play in high school and kind of said, hey, this is a kid to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, in the Pittsburgh area, they made him a 2nd-round pick as Harris takes a knee. Considered the league's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award recognizes NFL players whose passion to impact lives extends beyond the game and has led them to leave a positive legacy in their community. Marshawn Lynch is the Raiders nominee and Carlos Dunlap is the Bengals nominee. This year's winner will be announced at NFL Honors the night before Super Bowl 53 on CBS. To learn about all of this year's nominees, visit NFL.com/Man of the Year. Congratulations to both Lynch and Dunlap for those prestigious honors. As they hand it off to Darren Waller, the 4th tight end on this team. How about that? had not had a catch since 2016 when he was with the Ravens.
When we were in the meeting with John Gruden, I suggested a couple of plays. I said, you could do that. He said, I got plenty of plays. And he does have plenty of plays. When you start running a reverse to the number 4 tight end, you're going way down the play list, and you get a nice little smile from the coaching staff when it turns out well.
21-yard pickup for the third-year tight end out of Georgia Tech. Carr swings this one to Richard, incomplete. Could not connect with Kirkpatrick, leveling up Richard. We met with Carlos Dunlap, though, yesterday about the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. It's the second time that Dunlap has been named the Bengals nominee, and he was not only really proud of it, but he said, I'm so proud of my teammates, because you look at Joe Mixon, what he's done, Geno Atkins, a lot of his teammates have been making an impact in the community. He thought there were a lot of other great candidates that he shares a locker room with, so for him to get the award, he was very, very proud of that. Carr is now 0 for his last 4 passing. He hands this one off to Doug Martin. And Martin tackled at the 48-yard line to bring up 3rd down.
When John Gruden started to remake this roster with some of the moves, they brought in some veterans on 1-year contracts, and Doug Martin was one of those veterans brought in on a 1-year contract, a guy who previously had a couple 1,000-yard rushing under his belt. And I think Doug Martin has earned his way into maybe getting another contract with the Raiders for next year on this 1-year look and see.
He has a rushing touchdown in 3 straight games. That's tied for a career high. 3rd down and 8. Carr, quick pass, caught over the middle for a 1st down. It's Jordy Nelson reeling it in. How about an NFL Today update with JB and Phil Simms?
Vikings had a total of 17 points in the last 2 games.
Well, they got 21 in the first quarter here today. This time it's Latavius Murray, 18-yard touchdown run. It puts up Minnesota 21-0 over the Miami Dolphins. The name of the game today is running the football. Back to Andrew and James Lawler.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Big game playoff-wise. Dolphins in the AFC, Vikings in the NFC, both fighting for their playoff lives as we've ticked down inside a minute to go here in the first quarter in Cincinnati.
When you are in that wild card playoff hunt in late December, you're trying to keep your blinders on. You're trying not to look at the scoreboard and what's going on in other stadiums around the league and trying to stay focused just on your own business.
That catch by Nelson was the first time the Raiders converted a 3rd down here in the first quarter.
Star Wars, New York!
And with no movement, that tells Derek Carr that this is zone coverage. You heard the Star Wars, New York audible and a timeout from Gruden on the sideline.
So Marvin Lewis and John Gruden were on the same coaching staff in 1991 with the Pittsburgh Panthers. Gruden, the wide receivers coach, Marvin Lewis with the linebackers. We met with Marvin yesterday morning and asked him to give us some kind of story. He goes, you want a story about that year? Ask John Gruden about the skunk. So sure enough, we met with Gruden a couple hours later, and he gave us a hysterical 5-minute story.
He was so animated.
He brought his computer from the office home to his apartment to draw up some plays. He was heading back to the office at 3 in the morning, opened up his door, and a skunk was right there, sprayed him. Sprayed his clothes, the computer, everything was a mess. Gruden said he had to give the car back, and he burned his clothes, but the computer still stunk when he got it back to the office. His car throws on 2nd and 9. It's incomplete. So when all the other coaches walked in around 8 a.m., there was Gruden with all these cleaning supplies trying to clean his computer, and Marvin Lewis was saying, who is this weirdo?
And he said he really loves his computer.
And Gruden was just, he had us in tears with the way he told that story. So yes, they have a long history, and as Gruden told us, that was a big reason why, or actually as Marvin Lewis told us, that was a big reason why he brought in Jay Gruden to be his offensive coordinator for so many years, because of the relationship he had with John back in the day.
This bunch look takes away man coverage.
3rd down, Carr in trouble, chased by Dunlap, and he throws it away. Good pressure coming from Carlos Dunlap, and it'll be a punt.
Talked about the man coverage being taken away. Colton Miller is still struggling there as that open side left tackle. You put Hubbard on there. He got a sack. That time Dunlap with the pressure.
So out comes Townsend for his third punt of the quarter, with Erickson the deep man. Again, the Raiders, without their two starting guards, Carr has been under pressure here in the first quarter. And Erickson calls for a fair catch at the 10-yard line. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this. 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Bengals have a 7-0 lead. An injury update for Cincinnati. Jordan Evans, the second-year linebacker, has a left ankle injury, and his return is questionable. The Bengals are without Vontaze Burfict at linebacker today, missing his second straight game because of a concussion. Here's Mixon right up the middle across the 15-yard line, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. Cincinnati 7, Oakland nothing. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the second quarter in Cincinnati. Each team with a turnover so far. Bengals have a 7-0 lead alongside the Hall of Famer James Lofton. I'm Andrew Catalon. We thank you for joining us here on CBS. Driscoll's pass is broken up, and that was Eric Harris again, who's having a nice start to this game. Had the interception of Driscoll in the first quarter.
When you get split out and you have to play man-to-man coverage, play that first. Don't worry about the run. Yeah, they could have run and given the ball to the running back, but you've got that guy locked up one-on-one. If you do that job, you've done your job. Nice job by Eric Harris.
Brings up a 3rd and 2. Quick snap. Driscoll handoff. Mixon, he's got the first down. Mixon out to the 25-yard line. We had a chance to chat with Joe yesterday after the Bengals' quick practice here at Paul Brown Stadium, and he was telling us that ever since he was in high school, he's been the hype guy, the emotional player, and he didn't think he'd have to step into such a big leadership role in just his second season. But without Andy Dalton, without A.J. Green, he has accepted that role and really thrived in it. As his teammates have said, they really get him pumped up. And Mixon has turned into a critical part of this Bengals offense. He's got 25 yards rushing and all sorts of misdirection here with the penalty flag down. Mixon crawls up to the 30. 2 flags down on the field.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd went in motion, came across, and then lunged forward the offensive line.
Offside. Defense number 73. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The one time you actually blame a receiver, you were wrong.
And that would seem you'd have the Raiders sideline just fuming, because you come in motion and you start forward on that first hut. Tyler Boyd has a nice glow around him today. Maybe nothing bad is going to happen to him the entire afternoon.
Well, Marvin Lewis told us yesterday that his feet, Boyd's feet, have not touched the ground since that dramatic Week 17 touchdown last year in Baltimore. He's just rolled that momentum right into 2018. There's Boyd with some room to run. Angling toward the sideline and forced out by Harris, a couple of yards shy of a first.
I had a chance to spend a little bit of time with Tyler Boyd on the field before the game, and I remember reading a stat that he had rushed for over 2,500 yards in high school. And when you have those type of ball skills, you have a certain type of toughness. We talked about the couple of slants that he's caught. His run after the catch ability is really apparent. Like you said, that Week 17 victory last year against the Ravens, it was after the catch where he made the dent in the Ravens.
On second down, it's Mixon. He's got the first down and more. Mixon at midfield. Mixon following the block of Ross. Down the sideline and shoved out by Morrow. Big run for Joe Mixon. And a first down for the Bengals, a 47-yard pickup.
You've got to love everybody body on body. I always talk about that at the offensive line. Let the running back use his vision. Let the last moment, switch it into your right hand so you can stiff arm and get a couple extra yards out of the run.
And they go hurry up here. And a couple yards for Mixon, but that 47-yard pickup for Mixon, the longest of his career. As he inches closer to his third 100-yard rushing game of the season.
Well, we were talking about Tyler Boyd coming into the game needing 10 yards to get to 1,000. Joe Mixon Needed 134 to get to 1,000, and that 47-yard run will certainly help in those totals.
He's got 9 carries for 74 yards. He'll get a breather with Giovanni Bernard now in at running back on 2nd down and 8. Driscoll to the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Matt Lengel, and P.J. Hall was bringing the pressure for the Raiders.
You're looking for a window, an opening. You go 4 verticals. You try and get guys up the seam, plant that back foot. You pat it, you throw it. Not really there. I like the throw and getting it away from the defense, out of bounds, get us to the next play.
Let's see what Bill Lazor dials up on 3rd down and 8 in field goal range in a 7-0 lead.
There's Tyler Boyd right there.
Driscoll, he's got the legs. He's going to keep it himself. Cuts it back at the 10 and tackled at the 5. That's the threat that Driscoll brings. A 14-yard run. It's 1st and goal.
You don't have to be the fastest guy, but what you have to realize is, when do I have man-to-man coverage? When you see defenders turning their back, running with the receivers, you know once you get past that 4-man rush, you're going to have some open lanes, and Driscoll does a nice job in heading north and south, trying to get toward that goal line.
This drive started at Cincinnati's own 10-yard line. Now they have it 1st and goal just inside the 4. Mixon to the 2.
The Bengals do not employ a fullback, but they're going to send in Sam Hubbard, who we saw get a sack earlier. Sam Hubbard, defensive end, but he started his athletic career out as a smaller person. He's grown into a bigger body, so he has those skills, the ability to move in a short area, to become a good blocker, and believe it or not, he would tell you to become a good receiver as the first guy out the backfield.
And Hubbard and Hopkins both reporting as eligible here on 2nd and goal. Would they throw it to Hubbard?
There's Hubbard right there.
It's a handoff. Mixon still fighting, and he's ruled down at the 1.
Hubbard comes up with the ball.
Now he was ruled down. It'll be 3rd and goal for Cincinnati. Markel Lee on the tackle.
And watch Mixon try and stick this ball backwards toward the goal line. Good swat out, but right there, Johnny on the spot, Hubbard.
Hubbard stays out there as the fullback on 3rd and goal. Driscoll to Hubbard, incomplete. They did try to throw it to him, but could not connect.
You talked about Marvin Lewis being aggressive. It's 4th down now. You're trying to get Hubbard. You don't get the cut block from Mixon on Frosty Rucker, because you had Hubbard open in the flat. Now we're going for it on 4th down. You can hear the Bengal crowd excited about this.
Who is this guy? Marvin Lewis again, being aggressive. 4th and goal from the 1. Mixon, did he get in? No signal yet.
You got to unpile a lot of bugs.
Touchdown on 4th and goal. Mixon just gets in there. And the gamble by Marvin Lewis pays off. It's 13-0 Bengals.
There's a certain toughness. We talked about Joe Mixon. I mean, look at the guys were expecting him to dive over the pile. They were diving over the pile to meet him. He went low, got up under him, and kept his legs churning.
Marvin Lewis, throughout his career, has been known as being more of a conservative head coach. But last week, we saw him play it aggressive. And again this week, 2nd time, he's gone for it on 4th down. Bengals have converted both of them. And as soon as this is confirmed in replay, we'll see Randy Bullock for the extra point.
You talked about Mixon being the hype guy. We were here at practice on Saturday where it rained for 90 minutes straight. He was hyped up during that rainstorm that they were having on Saturday, so it's not artificial on Sundays.
Touchdown is good. Number 7 on the ground this season for Mixon. And here is Bullock for the extra point. Right down the middle. So the gamble by Lewis capped off with the touchdown on 4th down for Mixon.
Will kick off for the Bengals. Deep.
Bengals fans happy so far. Joe Mixon has helped give them a 14-0 lead on the Raiders as Cincinnati tries to stop a 5-game losing streak. It's their longest since 2010 when they lost 10 in a row that year. Harris, the deep man from the goal line. Harris across the 20 and tackled at the 23. So Marvin Lewis staying aggressive. It's paid off. He's gone for it twice on 4th down already today.
And they're getting the ball to your elite playmakers, Tyler Boyd and then Joe Mixon. Sure, there's no A.J. Green, there's no Andy Dalton, but you go to the co-stars, the guys who are filling in the roles behind those guys.
See if the Raiders can find some type of rhythm offensively. Derek Carr started 3 out of 5. Since then, he's 1 for 7. He does complete that one to Richard, who crosses the 30 and is tackled 2 yards shy of a first by Nick Vigil.
You always hear the term long handoff, and that's really what that is. Because you've got a defensive line, you've got offensive linemen, and offensive coordinators, they were sitting around late at night and they said, why do we need to run the ball in between the tackles with our running back? Let's split them out wide. Throw him a ball right behind the line of scrimmage and see what he can do. Pick up 7 yards on 1st down.
Richard. The ball comes out, and Cincinnati says they have it. It is Cincinnati football. Jalen Richard coughs it up. His 2nd lost fumble of the season. Darquez Denard with the recovery and the 2nd turnover by the Raiders offense.
You know, as the veteran in the broadcast booth here, we were talking about the fact that a lot of tackles, the runner doesn't go to the ground. You kind of stand him up. And when you stand them up, everybody's swatting at the ball. The 2nd, the 3rd guy's in. They get a hand on the ball comes out. Defensive backs, Darquez Denard is right there doing it. Hardy Nickerson Jr. is right there doing it. And that ball is on the ground. Bengals have a chance to put more points on the scoreboard.
2nd lost fumble today by the Raiders. Carr lost 1, and now it's the 3rd-year running back Richard who coughs it up, and Cincinnati takes over at the Oakland 34-yard line. Here's Ross. We saw this in practice yesterday. James following the block of Uzama, and Ross to the 31 for a gain of 3. Bengals do not have an indoor practice facility, so in the pouring rain yesterday, they were out here on this field practicing. Brings up 2nd down.
Ross had to retie his shoes. His shoes got pulled off. See him adjusting his gloves there as he's coming out of the huddle.
There's Mixon right up the middle. He's got some room, and Tyre Whitehead makes the tackle. It's going to be a half-yard shy of a 1st down. 3rd and inches here for Cincinnati with 8.5 to go in the 2nd quarter.
This is right up the middle. Billy Price, who's built like a brick. Nice double team. You work up to the next level. But a really good job, once again, by Joe Mixon using his eyes. That hole is supposed to be to the left, slides a little bit to the right, shoulder square. Good offensive game.
Bengals convert 75% of the time on 3rd and 1, and they have another one here to the 22-yard line. Joe Mixon moving closer to 100 yards rushing here in the 1st half.
One of the keys to the game was to get Tyler Boyd the ball, but one of our thoughts was Joe Mixon maybe 20 carries. So that would be 5 a quarter. He's well on his way to getting to that 20 carry mark. They're able to run the ball successfully on first down, second down, and put themselves in favorable third down situations.
86 yards rushing here in the first half from Mixon on first down and 10. They go empty. Driscoll out of the shotgun. Driscoll fires too high. Pretty hard to throw it over the head of Matt Lengel, who's 6'7", 266, but that's what happened on that pass.
And you've got to be really careful when you get down toward the red zone because the safeties are not real deep. And that ball could get tipped up in the air. Got a little, P.J. Hall's a little nicked up. He was down, he got up, he's gone back down now.
Second round pick this year out of Sam Houston State. 7:32 to go. We'll be back to Cincinnati in a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Spark Cash Card from Capital One. Verizon, the best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network. And by Kay Jewelers, for all the moments, for love, forever.
P.J. Hall walked off under his own power. A good sign there. We'll get you an update as soon as possible. Second down and 10. It's Giovanni Bernard on the carry. Came into the game with only 13 carries in the last 5 games for the Bengals. He's been more of a threat in the passing game this season.
That little run where he squeezes in between the left tackle and the left guard puts him in a manageable third down situation. You might want a little movement here pre-snap so that you can figure out, is it going to be man, is it going to be zone coverage, and how are they going to be matched up against you for your quarterback. There's the motion.
On 3rd and 4, Driscoll taking a shot to the end zone, incomplete. Was trying to connect with the tight end C.J. Uzama, and Carl Joseph had the coverage. And Marvin Lewis not feeling frisky enough here on 4th and 4. He will attempt a field goal.
A nice job by Rashawn Melvin, number 22, in attaching himself to Boyd. That's your first look. That's the guy you want to go to with the first down, but it wasn't there at all. So Melvin with a win for the Raiders.
34-yard field goal attempt for Randy Bullock, who today is celebrating his 29th birthday. And the kick is good with 6:42 to go, first half. Off the fumble, it's now 17-0 Bengals. Raiders down by 17. They have not done anything offensively here in the first half. You see their first 5 possessions, 3 punts and 2 fumbles. See if John Gruden and Derek Carr can get something going on this upcoming drive after the Bullock field goal. 6:41 to play in the second quarter. And this will be a touchback. Well, it's been a tumultuous week for the Oakland Raiders. Starting on Monday, they fired general manager Reggie McKenzie. The next day, the city of Oakland filed a lawsuit against the Raiders in the NFL. So now they're really without a home for next year. They did get the draft in Vegas in 2020. But as John Gruden told us, and there you see the owner, Mark Davis, John Gruden said, look, I'm coaching the team. I'm not the owner. I'm not the GM. I'm not worried about who we're playing next year. I'm trying to draw plays. I'm trying to win football games. So Gruden said there'll be time after the season to figure that all out.
All-star offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
But as the NFL said this week, they want to know where the Raiders are playing by January, early February at the latest. There's a lot of potential locations, including a return to Oakland, but maybe sharing a stadium with the 49ers, maybe going down to San Diego. A lot at play, but right now the Oakland Raiders do not have a home for 2019 as Carr's pass is complete at the 26-yard line.
And what did Derek Carr tell us?
Derek Carr wants us to go on the air and campaign for the Raiders to play at Fresno State next year. That's, of course, where he played his college football, and he wants to go back to Bulldog Stadium.
And the one thing that he did acknowledge is that the Raiders would still stay at their practice facility. So there's really not any moving for the players other than the question mark where is the next game day going to be next season, and that little bit of uncertainty.
Carr over the middle to Roberts, and he's got the first down. All the way up to the 47-yard line. Kirkpatrick on the tackle, but Roberts gains 19.
When you talk about dependability, I love watching Seth Roberts play. He's the third receiver. He came to this team as an undrafted free agent, and the very first day he was here, Derek Carr said he dropped everything. He ran all the wrong routes, but he has survived and thrived in that role as their third receiver.
Hey, Rihanna, Nolan Ryan. Hey, no. Hey, Clayton Kershaw.
So it's going to be a funky delivery, Clayton Kershaw.
We just got Rihanna, Nolan Ryan, and Clayton Kershaw. It all adds up to a Doug Martin carry. Well, Carr is a big Dodgers fan. Grew up in Bakersfield. He was really into the playoffs again this year with the Dodgers, and we got a Clayton Kershaw call.
And almost every NFL quarterback at some time, maybe little league or high school, was a baseball pitcher, and they thought they had the fastest fastball available.
Hey, 83 Cowboy.
Hey, 5-9 on.
Carr completes it. And it's Waller again, down the sideline. Waller inside the 5, and he is down at the 1. Darren Waller, who was signed off the Ravens practice squad a couple of weeks ago, has made 2 big plays for Oakland here in the first half.
And with a long play like that, you've really got to hustle now to get your goal line offense in. You've got a short crossing route, man-to-man coverage, you're picking guys up, and that missed tackle by Nick Vigil leads to Waller getting all the way down, really close to the goal line, and that elbow looked like it was close. Get your goal line offense out there, don't burn the timeout.
First and goal from the 1. Defensive lineman Clinton McDonald shifts in motion. Carr throwing to Smith for the touchdown. And that's the 3rd straight game that Lee Smith has caught a touchdown. And that was the 17th pass attempt of the game for Derek Carr. So that's a new franchise record for most consecutive pass attempts without throwing an interception. He goes past Rich Gannon and in the process fires a touchdown to Lee Smith. How about Lee Smith? Before the middle of November, he had not caught a touchdown since 2015. Now he has a touchdown in 3 straight games. 17-7 is the score. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Walmart. Just read John Gruden's lips during that timeout, and he told Derek Carr it was a great drive. It sure was. Finally on the board here. Carr on that drive, 4 of 4 for 73 yards, and now the franchise record. 278 consecutive pass attempts without throwing an interception. Returnable kick for Erickson. Erickson across the 30. Erickson with a flag down. Now multiple penalty markers down on the field. And some extracurricular as well.
Now, Erickson has lost his helmet. Well, he was in the middle of it with the football. Normally you'd see that many flags, you think maybe a face mask penalty. There's not a block in the back that late during a return.
39 during the return, personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 8. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Cincinnati ball, first down.
It's on the kicker, Daniel Carlson.
There's a little bit of panic if you're the kicker on the kickoff return, and you're kind of like the last guy. You know that Nothing's good going to happen at that point. So get them on the ground, just grabbing at anything. But you're not really used to tackling. You don't have tackling drills. You go on that other field, kick the ball through the end zone, you kick it through the uprights, you do all that. Very rarely do they face the tackling dumbly.
This is already the third drive today that the Bengals have started in Oakland territory. You saw Erickson going to the tent for a moment as Driscoll throws that one away and is brought down by Arden Key. And a flag comes in.
He forcibly took him to the ground.
Well, the officials are
a little frustrated by it.
The officials are now discussing this, so let's see if they backtrack or call a penalty on Key.
They also had Justin Ellis, who was covering Giovanni Bernard, and he held him. You cannot have pass interference behind the line of scrimmage, but you can have holding. So there are two flags against the Raiders that they're discussing.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Holding, number 78. That penalty is declined. Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 99. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. That's number 99's first taunting penalty toward disqualification.
So it's not on the tackle by Key. It's what he did after the play. Must have said something to Driscoll and gets called for taunting.
And you can see John Gruden go, how is that taunting? There's so much celebration after almost each and every play. You make a good defensive stop, you make a big gain on first down, on offense.
In the last 2 plays, 30 yards in penalties against the Raiders. Saw taunting last night in the Browns-Broncos game on Antonio Callaway. And now we see one on Arden Key today. 13 penalties a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh. That was a season high for John Gruden and the Raiders. Gruden coming back to Ohio, where he was born, Sandusky, Ohio native. There's Driscoll on the move. And he'll go out of bounds just inside the 30. Brings up third down. With 2:54 to go in the second quarter. Bengals have all 3 timeouts. Oakland with 2. Second quarters have not treated the Bengals well this year. They have allowed 177 points in the second quarter. That's the most of any quarter by any team through 13 games in NFL history. So we've already given up 7 here today. Third and 7. Driscoll completes it for a first down. It is Cody Core who moves the chains, a gain of 10.
I'm going to use the term beautiful. That was a beautiful pass in full gallop. It's coming across the field. You hit him in stride, doesn't have to break down, and gets it right in between the 1 and the 6.
2-minute warning in Cincinnati. Bengals driving, and they lead by 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway, now delivering to your front door. And by Microsoft Surface.
Cincinnati tradition since 1946, Holiday Junction, featuring the Duke Energy Holiday Trains inside the Cincinnati Museum Center. Don't forget, Verizon halftime report coming up. Our guys in New York with all the scores and highlights. My colleague Alan Layton's son getting ready to go on the field at halftime. Christopher Layton as Mixon is down at the 20. And now we're going to have the Raiders call timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. Remember, Cincinnati deferred on the opening coin toss, so the Bengals will get the football to start the second half. So John Gruden's hoping to save a little bit of time to potentially go down the field and have a shot at least at a field goal.
as you're trying to throw the ball into the end zone, you're going to come to the line of scrimmage. And if you're Jeff Driscoll, you're going to look at that secondary and say, okay, single high safety or they split safeties. Where are the void areas going to be to throw the ball and attack the end zone?
It's 2nd down and 12 with Driscoll in the shotgun. Driscoll, deep shot, incomplete. And when he's missed today, James, he's missed high.
And that's a good miss throwaway by Jeff Driscoll. He didn't have it. You played a single high safety. They did a really nice job in covering the corner route with Carl Joseph. So he's back there, and you've got to throw the ball over the head. Eric Harris is also back in that area. There's nowhere to really squeeze that ball into the receiver.
Driscoll is 1 for his last 7 passing, and now faced with 3rd down and 12. And because of the incompletion, the Raiders were able to preserve that last timeout. Clock stopped with 1:49 to go.
Tyler Boyd on the outside.
Driscoll to Boyd, incomplete. Boyd slipped a little bit coming out of his break. And now on 4th down and long, it'll be Randy Bullock time again for the Bengals.
Got a one-on-one, a post corner. He's going to plant off that right foot, go in, and then when he goes back out to the outside, the ball is thrown too far out in front, doesn't come out of the break cleanly, all of the above.
So Bullock will now attempt a 38-yard field goal. He already hit from 34 today. Bullock is good again, 2 for 2 on his birthday. 20-7 now in favor of the Bengals. As we celebrate CBS's Super Bowl season, we take a look back at some Super Bowl memories. Super Bowl 11, Raiders, Vikings. Oakland led by John Madden and Ken Stabler. Willie Brown had a 75-yard pick six off Fran Tarkenton. Raiders got their first Super Bowl win. CBS, the proud home of Super Bowl 53 this season. The game is on February 3rd in Atlanta.
I remember hearing Al Davis comment about his head coaches. He said, coaches should coach for about 10 years. When John Madden got to his 10th year, he went to the broadcast booth. Interesting, when John Gruden comes over, he gets a 10-year contract. So things have changed just a little bit since that time.
There is Mark Davis, the owner of the Oakland Raiders.
I would take a gamble on whether Dwayne Harris is going to try and bring this one out. He's anxious to try and get his hands on a returnable ball.
This is returnable from the 5. Harris puts it up at the 30 and tripped up from behind. Otherwise, he had some more room to run. So that'll give Oakland a chance here. 1 timeout, 1:32 on the clock. A 30-yard return.
Where Mark Walton, a backup running back, lunges at him and gets him because Harris played it just patiently enough where he had a hole and starting to burst through it.
Best starting field position today for the Raiders. They're at their own 36. Carr, good protection and incomplete. Throws it in the direction of Jordy Nelson. James, what have you noticed about those 2 backup guards getting the start today? There was some pressure early, but for the most part, Carr has been kept clean.
He really has, and in that middle, we mentioned Rodney Hudson, who's a former Pro Bowl player. He's doing a good job communicating with them. The issues have been a little bit right on the outside with Colton Miller, but you expect that. You've got a rookie out there, and you've got elite pass rushers going against the rookie.
Carr's only been hit once today. Lofts one up for Roberts, and it's incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Denard was back deep, but Roberts nearly hauled that one in. You saw last week in Pittsburgh, those 2 connected for 39 yards on the final game-winning drive.
Yeah, there's a level of trust that Derek Carr talked about in our meetings that he has thrown to Seth Roberts. There's a lot of people there. You're getting 2 deep coverage, and you also are getting man-to-man. So there's really 3 guys around Seth Roberts as he tries to get that middle area.
3rd down and 10. Oakland 1 of 5 on 3rd downs today. Here comes the pressure, and Carr is sacked. Bengals brought a blitz, and Sam Hubbard is the one to bring him down. That's the second sack of the game for Hubbard. He now has 6 on the year.
Sam Hubbard's getting a great first step off the line, and Colton Miller leans forward and ducks his head a little bit as opposed to dropping his knees and getting his hands out in front of him.
And now Marvin Lewis has called timeout. And the Bengals will get the ball back on offense. 1:15 to go, and they still have 2 timeouts remaining.
That was a quick series. They started that. That was 24 seconds right there. So that's really fast.
Carr has now been sacked 44 times this season. This year, Carr has been sacked once every 11 pass attempts. Prior to this year, it was once every 25 pass attempts, so twice as much for Carr, and a fair catch with multiple penalty markers down on the field.
When you're trying to conserve time on the clock, you might as well tell the punt team, this is a punt safe. We're not going to really worry about rushing the punter or doing anything like that. Let our guy fair catch the ball because we need to save as much time as we can on the clock.
Return team number 29. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down, Cincinnati.
Penalty on Tony McRae. Coming up, Verizon halftime. Our guys back in New York have all the scores and highlights, all the playoff implications. It's coming your way at halftime. The Verizon halftime report here on CBS. All right. If you're Bill Lazor in the Bengals offense, how do you play this, James Lofton?
Well,
2 timeouts.
And you've just lost 10 yards before you've even walked on the field. So you're probably a little more conservative. And the minute I say that, they go to an empty backfield set. I would expect Giovanni Bernard to come back in next to the quarterback and maybe go with the screen now that you know it's man-to-man coverage.
There's the screen to Bernard. You called it. He gets away from Morrow. Bernard tackled at the 25-yard line by P.J. Hall. Good to see him back in the game after he left earlier with an injury.
The thing that the Raiders just did, they were off the field too quickly. So now with this next snap, do you take a deep shot? Do you work the middle of the field? That's a decision Driscoll's going to have to make.
Driscoll, and it is incomplete, nearly intercepted. Off the hands of Uzama, and Rashawn Melvin had a chance to pick that one off.
But like you mentioned a little earlier, a little high and a little bit behind with his miss. There's Driscoll, clean passing lane, but you can see that ball high and behind Uzama. So there are a couple things that could have happened here. Did Uzama run his route too short, force Driscoll to throw it early, or was Driscoll just off target?
And that's one thing Marvin Lewis has said about Driscoll so far, is that sometimes he plays a little too fast. And we've seen that at times again today. Now it's 3rd down and 7. And they're going to run it. Bernard spins away from the key, but doesn't get much more than that. Raiders do have a timeout, and they are going to take it with 35 seconds to go.
That's a little bit of textbook football. You're trying to run, keep the ball on the ground so the clock keeps moving, or force the Raiders to use their last timeout.
Marvin Lewis, now in his 16th year as the Bengals head coach. He was hired in 2003. Since then, the Raiders have had 10 head coaches. Second longest tenured NFL coach behind Bill Belichick of the Patriots. One of the coaches for the Raiders during that run was Hugh Jackson, who's now a special assistant to Marvin Lewis after he was fired by the Browns. There's Hugh. Browns won again last night in Denver. Greg Williams now 4-2 since taking over as the interim head coach. Kevin Huber, the punt. Harris, fair catch. And the Raiders will get the ball back at the 27-yard line with no timeouts. And now there's an injury behind the play. And it's Vincent Ray, the 8th-year linebacker out of Duke, who's in a lot of pain. Minnie Ray has been a big part of this Bengals defense since he joined them as an undrafted player out of Duke in 2010. Turned that into a really impressive career on special teams and a big contributor defensively as well. He's a free agent after this season. You wonder if this could be his final home game in Cincinnati.
He is right there, right in the middle as you're getting a big push from some of the defensive linemen, rather. You really don't. There he gets kind of leg whipped right in the back. It's turned up on, and you're trying to figure out, is it my ankle, is it my knee? And you see the trainers checking the ankle there, foot.
Can't make it as an excuse, but injuries have really hurt the Bengals this season. They have 14 players on injured reserve. And of the 53 that were on the opening day roster, 19 have missed at least 2 games because of injuries. I mean, you're talking about Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, Tyler Eifert, Tyler Croft, Preston Brown, Carl Lawson, Ryan Glasgow. These are all big parts of the team. You see
big impact players.
Yeah, no question. You see some of them here. But Marvin Lewis will be the first to say we're not the only team in the NFL that deals with injuries. They've just been hit hard, though.
And I think the thing that people here in Cincinnati are talking about as you're around town, this team was 4-1. And 4-1, a minute and 20-some seconds to go against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lost that game, collapsed the next week against the New Orleans Saints, and downhill skid.
All right, so no timeouts for the Raiders. 29 seconds on the clock. Carr to Richard. Richard to the 40-yard line. They're going to have to hurry.
You'd want to spike this one to stop the clock, quickly get lined up.
13-yard pickup for Jalen Richard. There's the spike. Clock stops with 14 seconds to go. Daniel Carlson has only attempted 1 field goal from beyond 50 yards. It was actually exactly 50 yards, so a little bit unproven, the rookie out of Auburn from deep.
And the issue that you have when you try long field goals against the Bengals, Carlos Dunlap 6'6", Michael Johnson 6'7", Sam Hubbard 6'5", big tall guys that low trajectory on a long kick.
Carr over the middle again to Richard, and he's tackled at the 48-yard line. Can they hurry up and spike it before the clock runs out? Trying to get set up. 2 on the clock. Carr with 1, and the clock goes to 0, but it did look like there should be 1 second on the clock.
This is the end of the first half.
Very close there. I thought they got it with 1 second, but it doesn't matter what I think. That's the end of the first half with the score Cincinnati 20, Oakland 7. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station.
Want to stay up to date? Hey Siri, show me football standings.
Halftime here in Cincinnati, and the Bengals have a 20-7 lead on the Raiders. And hi everyone, welcome to the booth. Alongside the Hall of Famer James Lofton, I'm Andrew Catalan. A Cincinnati football team without Andy Dalton, without A.J. Green, but Joe Mixon continuing to make plays.
And Joe Mixon making those plays with his legs, being aggressive, hitting the holes hard, and then showing some speed to go the distance, 47 yards on this run. But it's really been the 2 turnovers that the Bengals have been able to capitalize on and turn those into points and field position, and that's really the difference in this ball game.
Mixon, the rushing touchdown. As you take a look at the quarterback comparison, Derek Carr still without an interception since October 7th, but not a very good offensive half of football for Oakland. Only 45 yards rushing, and Carr and the offense will have to wait as the Bengals get the ball to start the second half. Carlson boots it away, and the second half is underway here in Cincinnati. A short kick, Erickson from the 4-yard line. Erickson trying to get to the outside. He does. Erickson shoved out at the 35 with a penalty marker down. Alex Erickson, a walk-on Wisconsin. undrafted into the NFL by the Bengals. Right before the season started, signed a contract extension.
During the return, holding, returning team number 19. 10-yard penalty. Cincinnati keeps the ball first down.
It's on the rookie Auden Tate, 7th-round pick out of Florida State. First half numbers, what jumps out at you, James?
Well, the fact that points off of turnovers. You get 3 points here. When the Bengals did turn the ball over, they were trying to throw deep after a big quick change, so you had back-to-back turnovers, and there was kind of nothing gained from the Raiders from that turnover by the Bengals.
Driscoll trying to win his first NFL game as a starting quarterback. He's got a 20-7 lead as we start the second half. And that pass is incomplete, a miscommunication as Cody Core was the intended target and Driscoll got slammed to the turf.
And on a 3-step drop, you're trying to get that ball out quickly. When you do have to double clutch it, you're gonna take some punishment.
Jonathan Hankins leveling the punishment. He played at Ohio State. Nixon 84 yards rushing in the first half. He gets the handoff here on second down, and a former Bengal greets him. It's Frosty Rucker, drafted in the 3rd round in 2006 by Cincinnati, spent 6 seasons with the Bengals. Marvin Lewis said, you know, we picked the right guy because this is his 155th game in the NFL. And it brings up 3rd down and 11. Quick pass, Erickson with some blockers in front. Erickson to the outside. Erickson is tackled right near the chains. A late flag comes in. Darryl Worley on the tackle for the Raiders.
That holding is going to be a spot foul because they had the first down. You're going to mark it back, and you had a 3rd and 11. You're going to now have a 3rd and 10 coming up. And who I don't see on the field and don't see on the sideline is Tyler Boyd. I don't remember anything that happened to him late in the second quarter that could have caused him not to be able to come out.
In the back. Offense, number 15. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
The penalty is on John Ross, and it'll remain 3rd down.
You see Erickson is trying to get the running lane, and see John Ross coming into view there. He already pushed the defender in the back.
Bengals say they're checking on Tyler Boyd, so as soon as we get an update, we'll pass it along to you. In the meantime, it's 3rd down and 10. Driscoll, deep shot down the field, and it is nearly intercepted, and a flag comes in. Garyon Conley, who's now shaken up after nearly picking that ball off, is still on the ground. The pass was intended for Cody Core.
Conley looked like he had a better shot at the ball than Core, so I don't know who this flag is going to go against. You're going to see the matchup coverage one-on-one on the outside.
Number 21. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down, Bengals.
Conley hit his head as he went to the ground, and he was also called for that penalty.
And there was a little bit of hand fighting, but that's going back and forth. I think that's a non-call at best.
Timeout on the field. We'll be back in a moment. A lot going on here. John Gruden's mad because of the penalty call on Conley. He went into the blue medical tent to get checked for a concussion. We'll give you the results of that as soon as we have them. Rashawn Melvin has come onto the field to take Conley's spot at the outside corner position. We also have 2 big injury updates coming for the Bengals. We'll tell you right after this 1st and 10. Driscoll escapes the sack, throws on the run, incomplete. Now, the Bengals injury updates. Tyler Boyd is out for the rest of the game with a right knee injury. And also linebacker Jordan Evans is out for the rest of the game with an ankle injury. So, James, you saw it. Where was Boyd to start this half? Not out there. Now we know why. It's a knee injury.
And I don't remember a play where he was twisted, where he was turned, and we see Conley being walked off going to the locker room because he's already been in the blue medical tent. So now he'll go into the locker room for further evaluation.
That's a tough one for Conley, who's a native of Ohio, Massillon, Ohio, about 3 hours away from here. He had 30 members of his family and close friends in attendance today for his homecoming, as Mixon has nowhere to go. Clinton McDonald with the tackle for the Raiders.
And if I'm the Raiders and now you've taken Boyd out of the offensive equation, I'm going to go a lot of man-to-man coverage. Yes, you still have John Ross, who has great speed, but you really don't have a go-to proven threat like Tyler Boyd at the wide receiver position. They're down to their 3, 4, and 5 when you take away Boyd and A.J. Green, who's out with that toe injury.
There's Conley slowly walking to the Oakland locker room. 3rd down and 11. Bernard at the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. Quick pass to Erickson. Erickson stays on his feet. A flag is down. Erickson picks up the 1st down. Will it stand? Shoved out of bounds by Eric Harris. Rashawn Melvin missed the tackle.
But he was so aggressive, John Ross might have pushed him in the back again the 2nd time it's happened.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 15. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You called it, James. Another penalty on John Ross.
Well, I hate to say it, from my days as a wide receiver coach, if you can read the guy's name on the back of his jersey, or if you see a bunch of dreadlocks back there, don't push him in the back.
Another injured Raider. And that is Nicholas Morrow, the 2nd-year linebacker. So just a couple of plays after Conley had to leave the field in the secondary. Now they have a linebacker down.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. And by the Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year.
Just give that guy the ugly sweater contest right now. 3rd and 21 for Cincinnati after the penalty on John Ross. Darian Conley out for the rest of the game with a concussion. So the Raiders without their top corner. Driscoll fires deep, incomplete. And out will come the punting unit led by Kevin Huber. So Tyler Boyd out, Darian Conley out, Jordan Evans out. 3 big players on both sides out for the rest of the game because of injury. Wayne Harris back deep to receive the punt from Huber. Now at the age of 33, 5th-round pick by the Bengals in 2009. Trying to pin the Raiders deep. Harris, fair catch at the 10-yard line with 12:13 to go, 3rd quarter. Tonight on CBS, every clue has led to this. Don't miss a new episode of God Friended Me tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS. Well, we believe we found the play where Tyler Boyd injured his right knee. Take a look at this. This was in the 1st half on a block, and then he didn't see the other player coming.
Almost a little bit of whiplash, where he has his foot just lightly planted, so you got to kind of hope for the best that comes out of that situation.
Certainly hope he's okay. 1st down and 10. Raiders will start this drive at their own 11-yard line. Here's Roberts. Can he get to the outside? No one to turn the corner there is Kirkpatrick with a great job of containing Roberts.
And Kirkpatrick with those, the Grinch that sold Christmas shoes on, just levels Roberts here, and that's a little reception there. So you get a reception and you get a minus on it, and then you get the big hit going out of bounds by the Grinch.
2-yard loss by Roberts.
Open end right here against Colton Miller.
Carr right back to Roberts. He's got it at the 15-yard line. And tackled by Vigil after a gain of 6. We mentioned earlier, Cincinnati came in with a historically bad third down defense. 52.7%. The all-time record was set by the Chiefs in '82, 52.8%. However, today, the Raiders are just 1 of 7 on third downs.
I would think that 1982 number is when they started keeping it, the same year they started keeping sacks.
Carr converts on third down to Cook. Thrown out of bounds by Sean Williams, but Jared Cook moves the chains.
Nice on-target throw to your best guy that you like in the passing game. Cook has been phenomenal this year. In his 10th season, his numbers just keep getting better and better and better. And when we met with him, you know, he has his eye on making the Pro Bowl. You're looking at a guy who's on a 3-10 team, a lot of good tight ends around the league, but he does have that chance.
He's never been to the Pro Bowl. John Gruden said if he doesn't go this year, there should be an investigation. Doug Martin up the middle across the 30. And you know, when we met with Cook, a lot of players won't come out and say it, but you know, we pulled on him a little bit. And he said, yeah, you know, the Pro Bowl is a big deal.
Right.
I want my name attached to that. And he certainly had a great season, moving closer to 1,000 yards receiving.
And when you look at the guys in the AFC with Kelsey, Gronkowski, he's right there in that mix with them, and those guys could be in postseason Super Bowl contention, which would allow a third tight end to possibly go.
Back-to-back 100-yard games for Jared Cook.
Hey, Jimmy Hendrix. Jimmy Hendrix. 5-6. Here we go.
We're getting a pop culture lesson from Derek Carr today. Jimmy Hendrix on here. And Doug Martin is met at the line of scrimmage. We met with Derek Carr and asked him about the interception streak, 8 straight games, and he said it's a funny story that came home after the Chargers game, the last time he threw an interception, and he was doing his bedtime prayers with his son Dallas, and Dallas said, Daddy, what should we pray for? And Derek, under his breath, kind of mentioned, Daddy's got to stop throwing interceptions. Ever since then, Dallas Carr has been praying for no interceptions for Daddy, and it's worked. Raiders fans want Dallas to keep praying. Third down and 3. Carr to Richard, beautifully led, and Richard with first down yardage and more. Jalen Richard on third down and 3 goes into Cincinnati territory for a gain of 32.
I talked to Jalen Richard on the field before the game, and he's well aware of the fact that he's one of the leaders in total receiving yards that doesn't have a touchdown reception. So as that ball is being floated to him, he's thinking, maybe this is the time I get in the end zone with a touchdown catch.
They hand it to Richard, who lost a fumble earlier in the game. Holds on to this one to the 31-yard line. Vigil, another tackle.
Getting a little momentum out of this drive. You get the big third down pickup. Now you have a no-huddle situation, kind of what you would call a sugar huddle if you got a Bengal down. In the middle, looks like Sean Williams there. Outstanding strong safety.
It is Williams. Gets up and has a few words with the Raiders. And a few more words, and now he'll head off. In his 6th year out of Georgia. Leads the team this season with 4 interceptions. And now you've got Williams coming out of the game, and Williams has been the guy that's been trying to cover tight end Jared Cook. So you wonder if Carr right away goes to whoever is on Cook on this play.
And on John Gruden's massive play sheet, there's a whole box of plays where Jared Cook is the #1 receiver. He's split out wide, and he's going up against Drake Kirkpatrick, maybe their best cover corner.
Yeah, Fedulum comes in at safety, but it's Kirkpatrick on Cook. Carr the other way, he caught his own pass, and now he goes down. All right. He's had a problem lately with the batted passes, but he's got a catch.
But he's thinking to himself, I'm supposed to knock that ball down. But instinctively, you get thrown a ball, you want to catch it. Quarterbacks play catch all day long before practice starts, and he makes a one-handed catch there.
Michael Johnson batted it down, but Carr loses 9 yards on the play. That's exactly why he did not want to catch that football.
And as a play caller, John Gruden now has to figure out, what can put us in field goal range, and what play do I have that protects my left tackle?
Sean Williams is back out there. He is gesturing at Seth Roberts. So those two are clearly having some words as Richard is tackled short of a first down. But before that play, Sean Williams was waving at Seth Roberts saying, "Come to my direction."
Yeah.
So there's something going on there.
Well, we mentioned Seth Roberts making this ball club as a free agent out of West Alabama, and you've got to be scrappy to do that. So you're out there blocking, you're taking guys' legs out, doing all the dirty things that defensive backs don't like.
A 50-yard field goal attempt for Daniel Carlson. That is his season long. Just his second attempt from 50 yards or longer, and he is good. So the 5th-round pick by the Vikings this year cut and now has found a home with the Raiders. It's a 10-point lead for Jeff Driscoll and the Bengals. 6:27 to go in the third quarter after the 50-yard field goal by Daniel Carlson. With our producer Steve McKee, director Andy Goldberg, our entire crew, Andrew Catalan, James Lofton up here in the booth. Week 15 of the NFL on CBS. Alex Erickson back deep to receive the kick from Carlson. Erickson will take this out. And Erickson stops short of the 20-yard line. Jeff Driscoll 10 out of 24, and we mentioned this, but he's been a little high on his misses, James.
A little high, a little long. He had a real deep ball to John Ross that he needed to throw a little deeper. That was the only one that he didn't get enough arm on, and you can see a lot of the miscues, 10 out of 24 so far. Only 68 yards passing. And if you're Bill Lazor, you've got to be thinking, what can I do to get him in a rhythm? He's already thrown 24 balls, and he hasn't found that rhythm.
Driscoll started 5 out of 8. Since then, he is 5 for 16. On first down, Driscoll rolling right, fires, and it is incomplete. Rashawn Melvin, who's into the game for the injured Garyon Conley, got a hand on that one.
Well, that's really good coverage by Melvin. You have a bootleg. You've got John Ross, who has terrific speed, and you cover him one-on-one at the line of scrimmage. You get a little hands on him, but Ross never really accelerates and pushes him to the point where I'm going deep. He's kind of measuring his steps so he can plant and come back. Not a great route by John Ross.
Nicholas Morrow is not out there for the Raiders either. He was injured on their last defensive set. Mixon gets a couple. Rucker drags him down from behind. No update yet from the Raiders sideline on Morrow. There he is talking to Paul Gunther. Looks like he's about to come in, and he is. So good news. There's your update. He's fine.
Like I mentioned to you, with Tyler Boyd out the game, you do not have a go-to guy in your third down package. He's had caught 21 passes on third down so far this season. One of the leaders in the AFC. He's gone. I want man-to-man coverage on the outside, and I want to bring extra pressure. Somebody to get in the face of Driscoll.
3rd and 7. Driscoll over the middle, too high again. Was looking for Alex Erickson, could not connect, and a quick 3-and-out by Cincinnati. Paul Gunther's defense gets the job done there. That's their 3rd 3-and-out.
And that's a clean pocket, a good window to throw to, and just a ball that has a little too much oomph on it.
Some frustration for Driscoll, who, as Marvin Lewis said, is getting an incredible opportunity for his career. And we talked about that with Driscoll. He was a 6th-round pick by the 49ers in 2016. When you're a quarterback and you're 6th, 7th round undrafted, you don't know if or when your opportunities will come. This is Driscoll's shot, and he's trying to put his best foot forward, not only for the Bengals this season, but for his future. As Harris on the return. And the Raiders will have good field position to start this drive. Down by 10 and 5:22 to go in the third quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. The best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network. And by State Farm. here to help life go right.
And their coach, Aaron Hank.
There's our graphics operator, Alan Layton, his son, a member of the Beechwood High School football team that was honored today during halftime. Tigers won their third straight Kentucky Division I-A championship, led by head coach Noel Rash. And Christopher Layton, a junior wide receiver on the team. Trying to follow in your footsteps there, Mr. Lofton.
I love it. He's open.
Allen deserves hazard pay every week, sitting next to Steve McKee and Andy Goldberg, our producer and director. There's Chris. His phone is probably blowing up. You're on TV. Tell everyone at Beechwood High. Second and 7.
We're good, we're good. Silver, set.
Carr loading up deep. Jordy Nelson is wide open, and he makes a sliding grab. He was not touched, still going. Nelson is finally brought down at the 2. A busted coverage by the Bengals, and Carr and Nelson make them pay.
Play action, 2 deep coverage, and you're right. The safety saw the corner route. You saw Jared Cook going to the corner, jumped up on that, and Jordy Nelson all alone. You know, if I had been out there, I'd been slow enough where I'd have caught that ball in stride and been able to score.
And now they're saying his knee was down at the 7, right there. And he was touched. A 44-yard pickup. It's still first and goal for Oakland. And some movement up front.
Ball start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the rookie right tackle, Brandon Parker.
Just a little bit of a flinch as the Bengals shift down. They're not moving forward. They're just shifting along the offensive line. And when you're dependent upon movement by the defensive line, not being able to hear because of crowd noise, you can sometimes move a little early.
4th false start this season for the rookie Parker. Here's Martin trying to get those yards back. He does inside the 5. All at the 3-yard line. And an injured Bengal. It's William Jackson who is slow to get up. Jackson, the 3rd-year corner out of Houston, a first-round pick in 2016.
Looks like he's coming up to try and meet Doug Martin in the hole, and they both go low. He gets kind of clipped in the back there. He's so low under Martin, and then he gets tumbled on by a couple offensive linemen after that.
Well, it's a Cincinnati secondary that is without 2 cornerbacks today. Kivare Russell dislocated his finger during practice this week. He is out. And the rookie Devontae Harris was labeled inactive today. So not a lot of depth at corner for the Bengals with Jackson down on the ground. They have Darius Phillips and Tony McCray. So you figure they'll move Denard over to the outside where he was last week with Kirkpatrick out, and then either Phillips or McCray coming in as the nickel corner. But of course the focus now is on making sure Jackson is okay. Get some help up. And we'll head to the Cincinnati sideline. We'll get an update just as soon as possible. And there is Darius Phillips, the rookie out of Western Michigan who's come into the game. 2nd and goal for the Raiders. The ball is spotted just inside the 4-yard line.
And with 5 defensive backs in the game, you spread them out. You've got a great ability to run the football right here.
Doug Martin is the running back. And another flag and another false start.
Well, that shifting has really affected the Raiders.
Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's on Colton Miller. So both rookie tackles have been called for false starts on this drive.
Colton Miller, and you're going to see the shift right there, and that's going to get him. As soon as you get that movement in front of you, you're reacting to it.
That's his 4th false start of the year. Pushes the ball back to the 9.
William Jackson's back in after being out for not even 1 point.
Good sign. Carr throws, completes it, and now dropped. Doug Martin had it and lost it. And it's 3rd and goal with 2:46 to go in the 3rd quarter.
You have been able to get pressure in your 4-man packages. For the Bengals, you don't really have to rely on a blitz here to make Derek Carr get rid of the ball early. And you can also build that kind of picket ball right across the goal line if you choose to.
Richard into the game at the bottom of your screen. Empty backfield for Carr on 3rd and goal. Carr over the middle, and it is incomplete. Jared Cook tried to reel it in with one hand, could not hold on. Hardy Nickerson broke that one up. It's 4th down, and out comes Daniel Carlson, the kicker.
You're trying to throw it high to Jared Cook so he can go up and elevate and get it, but it's such a tight window because I said a 4-man rush. They went with 3 pass rushers, dropped all 8 guys back in pass coverage, so that makes the windows even smaller to try and squeeze that ball into.
So after the big play by Jordy Nelson, the Raiders have to settle for a field goal attempt. And Carlson's kick is good. And we've got a 7-point game, but the drive stalls inside the 10. 2 big false start penalties on Oakland. Brandon Parker and Colton Miller. Coming up next on CBS, a great AFC matchup. Tom Brady and the Patriots in Pittsburgh against Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. That is next, a doubleheader day right here on CBS. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, all still mathematically alive for a playoff spot in the AFC North. There you see the current AFC playoff picture.
Steelers have been stuck on that 7-win figure for a couple of weeks now, and some last-second losses, trying to get that momentum back as we roll through December here.
And a tough finish for the Steelers. They have the Patriots today. They play the Saints next week, and then Week 17 at home against their rival, the Bengals. A touchback for Carlson with 2:38 to go. Well, the Cincinnati offense has not done much here all day, specifically in the second half. They only have 12 yards in the second half. And Driscoll has thrown for just 68 yards on the day. Joe Mixon has not got it going yet this half. 3 carries for 1 yard. See what Bill Lazor can dial up here with now being a 1-possession game.
And I think
one-score game.
Paul Gunther has to continue to be aggressive on the outside and try and match up against the Raiders with man-to-man coverage. You can see it with the 2 corners open.
Driscoll. It's incomplete. Thrown over the head of Cody Core. Some boos from the Bengals fans as his passing game has been stuck in neutral all day. We met with Driscoll yesterday and said, give us your evaluation of your first 2 starts. He said, it's not good enough because we're 0-2 in my starts, but I feel like I've improved. I know I belong. I want to continue to showcase them. Today, still waiting for him to get going.
Look at this crowded box with all those guys up there to stop the run.
And they can't. Mixon breaks through and has a first down. Carl Joseph on the tackle, but Mixon picks up 10.
Mixon, just great vision. You can see the hole there. He cuts in when you thought he was going to cut out. And just that physical presence to get those shoulders square. When Mixon goes down, he kind of bumps his head on this hard turf.
Yeah, coming out of the game. Take another look at the replay. Watch Mixon's head Hits down hard. We already saw Conley lost to the game because of a concussion, and now Mixon on the Cincinnati sideline. Bernard takes his place. The run by Mixon was good enough for a first down. Bernard going nowhere. Jonathan Hankins the first to get there. And now a little extracurricular again as it's starting to get chippy here in Cincinnati. Billy Price, the rookie out of Ohio State, was right in the middle of that. A loss of 4 on the play. How about Hankins?
And splitting the double team. And look at him. He's like trying to squeeze into a Black Friday sale. So impressive, working, because you know that the game is kind of back in your court. You've got a chance now. You force them into a long second down situation here.
Hankins signed after week 1. That's been a big pickup here for the Raiders this year. 2nd and 14. The pass is caught by Erickson, hit right away by Darryl Worley. A 4-yard pickup, 3rd down and long as we approach 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Mixon still on the sideline. Cincinnati 5 out of 13 on 3rd downs today.
Arden Key, maybe their best pass rush type body that the Raiders have out there.
Driscoll pressure coming. Escapes Key. Driscoll will run it. Driscoll turns the corner. Did he go out of bounds or stay in? He stayed in, and he's got a first down.
You've got to love that aggressiveness. You escape Arden Key in the pocket, and then you're on the boundary sideline, and you tiptoe with enough momentum to keep yourself in bounds and vault forward and get the first down. There's Key right in his face right away. So you pull it down, you know, there's nobody to throw to. I've got to get it on my own.
A 13-yard run for Jeff Driscoll, and that should be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We are through 3 in Cincinnati. Bengals lead by 7. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 4th quarter in Cincinnati. The Bengals trying to stop a 5-game losing streak. They lead the Raiders 20-13 with the Hall of Famer James Lofton. I'm Andrew Catalan. We thank you for joining us for week 15 of the NFL on CBS. And after the Driscoll 13-yard run, the Bengals have it 1st and 10 from right near midfield. Joe Mixon back into the game before, but that was Giovanni Bernard on the carry. And Bernard picks up a couple. There's Mixon. He was coming back out after that run by Driscoll. Then the quarter ended, and then they have Bernard out there to start. So Mixon looks like he's ready to come back, but we still haven't seen him.
He got a new helmet. Somebody had come out of the tunnel with a new helmet, exchanged it, tried it on, and making sure it fits well.
Driscoll, pressure coming. Flag is down. Driscoll is down after scrambling for a couple. And now let's see what the penalty is. Looks like it's a hold against the Bengals. And Mixon is back on the field.
Holding, offense number 65, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
First holding call this year against the left guard Clint Bowling.
One of the key things for young quarterbacks to do is to protect the football. You got a pass rush that's coming at you. You got receivers that aren't getting a lot of separation. You got to make sure in this situation you do not turn the football over.
Mixon next to Driscoll on 2nd and 17. Driscoll deep over the middle, caught by Uzomah for a first down. First catch today for C.J. Uzomah, and it's good for 27.
Nice job splitting the 2 deep coverage. Driscoll has missed high a couple of times, missed long. This time Uzomah goes up, elevates, catches that ball in between the 2 safeties.
Uzomah came up limping, and the Bengals go no huddle. Driscoll, deep shot, end zone, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Cody Core, and it's 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job by Eric Harris playing the middle safety, getting enough depth so that you can't throw beyond him, that you can't hit this deep post pattern. You see Harris come in. If that ball's thrown more on a line, Harris is there for his 2nd interception of the game.
Bengals have been living in Oakland territory today. 35 of their 57 plays have come in Raiders territory. Uzama sat that last play out, but he's back in there for 2nd and 10. Mixon, a yard, and it's 3rd and long. Bengals are in field goal range, though, for Randy Bullock. And it would be an important field goal if it comes to that. Try to make it a 2-score game. Mixon comes right back off the field for 3rd and 8. He's 2 yards shy of his 3rd 100-yard rushing game of the season.
And Erickson taking over that slot position that Boyd would normally be in.
Just joining us, Tyler Boyd out with a right knee injury. Driscoll completes it to Bernard. He's got room to run. Bernard at the 10, and Bernard hit hard at the 8. 1st and goal, Bengals. Darryl Worley the tackle, but a big play on 3rd down for 22 yards.
Talked about Erickson. Watch him as he comes across. He's going to create the pick. Look right there. He picks, rubs, whatever you want to call it. Does a great job in opening it up for Bernard coming across.
They go no huddle again. And Bernard pushing his way inside the 5. Maurice Hurst on the tackle. And Mixon will re-enter. Mixon already with 1 rushing touchdown. And Bernard setting up the Bengals right here on the doorstep with 11:45 to go. Bengals are 5-1 when Mixon has 20 or more carries. He's got 20 today.
Every tight end set to the left.
Carry number 21. And he maybe gets 1. The only loss for the Bengals when Mixon has 20 or more carries was last week in LA when he had 26, a career high, in the loss to the Chargers. Third down and goal. The ball is spotted just inside the 5-yard line. Driscoll always a threat with the legs. Driscoll, will he keep it? Now throws, and it is incomplete. Tried to squeeze it into John Ross. It's 4th and goal, and Marvin Lewis does not hesitate. He sends out his kicker, Randy Bullock.
Ross, one of the fastest guys on the field, has to run all the way from right to left. You don't see him in your picture until right now. And there he is, coming in and almost has enough room to catch that ball before he goes out of bounds.
So Bullock already good from 34 and 38 today. This is from 23 yards, and the kick is good. So the birthday boy, Randy Bullock, now for 3 for 3 on field goals. And it's a 10-point Bengal lead again. 10:45 to go, 4th quarter, and the Raiders down by 10 again after Bullock's 3rd field goal of the game. John Gruden and the Raiders head home after the game, and they'll host the Broncos on Monday night, Christmas Eve next week. What could be the final home game in Oakland for the Raiders with their 2019 status up in the air as to where they will play. Gruden today back in Ohio, where he was born, a Sandusky, Ohio native, and was a quarterback at Dayton.
John Gruden, junior quarterback, Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, Gruden, a backup at Dayton in the mid-'80s. Looking good out there. And now Gruden at the age of 55 in his 12th year as an NFL head coach.
Now let me ask you that. Was it a design play?
After the play was over, personal foul. Kicking team number 32. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the touchback spot. First down, Raiders.
That's on the rookie running back, Mark Walton.
So when John Gruden took that snap to kind of mishandle it, let it bobble up in the air and let the defense be mesmerized by it before he did the quarterback sneak?
That was on purpose, yes. Now the penalty is a big one against Cincinnati as it brings the ball all the way out to the 40-yard line. Plenty of time left in this one. DeAndre Washington in at running back, his first touch today, and he gets a yard. Michael Johnson on the tackle. Washington only played one snap on offense last week in the win over Pittsburgh. It's pretty much been Martin and Richard ever since Marshawn Lynch went down.
Just like the Raiders have been able to play man-to-man coverage, play man-to-man coverage if you're the Bengals, keep a safety in deep center field, and concentrate on that run box.
180's hot. Hey, we're good, we're good. Here we go. Stay over, sunset.
Carr to Keith Smith, and it's incomplete. The fullback, who does not have a carry or a catch since week 3. And now it's 3rd down and 9.
That was Vincent Ray in coverage, had been out of the ball game earlier, so back in, getting a bunch of high fives and attaboys once he went to the sideline.
Third down and 9 for Carr and the Raiders. Carr feeling the pressure, and he is sacked. Geno Atkins, his 8th sack of the year.
That was really good coverage down the field. You see Carr has a little bit of time in the pocket, and then at the last minute, once he's trying to scan the field again, Geno Atkins beats the single block. You can't single block him. You really need to help out, but they hugged up the linebacker right over the center, and that center had to watch the linebacker, couldn't help out on Geno Atkins.
That was Chaz Green, who, as we told you, getting the start today at left guard for the injured Kelechi Osemele. Green and Good, the guards, have held up pretty well today for the Raiders until there, where Atkins has Cincinnati's 3rd sack of the game, and this one takes a Raiders hop inside the 10-yard line all the way down to the 8. A 57-yard punt for Townsend.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Light up Christmas at Walmart. Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. And by Honda. Hurry into the Happy Honda Days sales event today.
Well, during the commercial, there was a big huddle between the officials. And instead of spotting the ball inside the 10, it's now brought out to the 25-yard line.
Dwayne Harris, who they said was the first to touch it, had gone out of bounds trying to cover the punt after being blocked, and they said he was the first to touch, so they're now bringing the ball back to the 25-yard line. Huge bonus for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, that wipes off the 57-yard punt by Townsend. Now a 40-yard punt. See if the Bengals can work some clock here with the 10-point lead. It's a screen pass to Mixon, and he is tracked down by P.J. Hall. Time is on Cincinnati's side. So once again, they're saying the Raiders touched the ball on that punt. Take another look. We were watching the replay during our commercial break. It's very hard to tell, but they're saying it touched Harris there.
He doesn't get it there. His left hand was the closest thing to it, but that's where they are, and obviously the Raiders sideline is not real happy with that call.
Mixon, he's been bottled up in this second half. That does get him over 100 yards rushing for the 3rd time this year and the 4th time in his career.
He had 84 yards at halftime, so that's 18 yards in the second half. They really do need more out of him, and Jeff Driscoll only 121 yards passing. Now it's kind of on him to pick up this third down.
And Mixon comes out. 3rd down and 7. And Bernard is next to Driscoll. Raiders looking to force a quick 3 and out and get the ball right back. Driscoll, pressure coming. Driscoll is sacked. Carl Joseph with his first sack of the year. A loss of 7 on the play, and the Raiders defense does their job.
Giovanni Bernard is the back who's in the backfield. He has to sift in and block a linebacker, and once he does that, it's what you call a key blitz. If he's going to block, you're going to bring the second person from that side as the pass rusher. Your quarterback has to realize that that can happen and get rid of that ball quickly on the front side.
The second sack of Joseph's career. And now Harris awaiting the punt at his own 35-yard line. Harris comes up to the 40. Harris tackled in midfield by Fedulum. So the Raiders are going back to work, down by 10. 7:05 to go. Raiders still alive, down by 10. They got the football just shy of midfield. Carr on 1st down. Loads up and finds Jordy Nelson for a 1st down grab. Darquez Denard on the tackle, a gain of 14.
That bunch formation off the line of scrimmage doesn't allow a Bengal to get up and get the hands on Jordy Nelson, and he has enough speed to get across the field.
4 catches for 76 yards today for Jordy Nelson.
Ooh. Take hold.
Quick pass caught by Aitman. Another Oakland 1st down for Marcel Aitman, the rookie out of Oklahoma State.
You want to play man-to-man coverage in these situations, but the Bengals go to zone coverage. You allow Derek Carr a clean pocket. He's going to find the receiver. And he throws it nice and low to keep him from running into traffic. Another zone look, no man-to-man coverage on this side.
There's Carr. Going end zone for Cook, and it's incomplete. Jesse Bates and Sean Williams were back deep for Cincinnati. And that will stop the clock with 5:50 to go.
3-by-2. You get Cook trying to go deep. You see the coverage on the outside. The only downside to this play, Jared Cook, a little winded. He's walking back to the huddle. So you kind of lose your number 1 go-to receiver.
Yeah, Cook is not in for this 2nd down and 10 play. Derek Carrier takes his place. Carr, and he throws this one to the ground. Martin was in the vicinity. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to set up a screen, but you've got some pressure, and you also have the linebackers playing the screen well. On this 3rd down, we've talked about the guards that are substituting for the game. Denzel Good, Chaz Green, they've held up. It's the rookie tackles on each side. Can they hold up against this pass rush coming from the Cincinnati Bengals? You have Hubbard right here on the open side.
Carr completes it to Nelson, who puts on the brakes at the 21. And now John Gruden will send out his field goal unit in a 2-score game. They got to find a way to get some points on the board here with the kicker Carlson.
See the pressure squeezing in on Derek Carr, and he gets crossing route. Jordy Nelson trying to stop, hit the brakes, reverse field. Doesn't happen.
A 40-yard field goal attempt for Daniel Carlson, who's 12 out of 13 this year since joining the Raiders. This one is good. So with 5:05 to go, it's once again a 1-score game, a 7-point Bengals lead. And the Raiders have all 3 timeouts to work with and the 2-minute warning. Remember last week against Pittsburgh, a couple of long touchdown drives in the 2nd half for Oakland, including the game-winning drive late. John Gruden was really proud of the finish against Pittsburgh last week. He said everyone in the building knew we had to throw the football, and we still were able to do it, and they could be set up for another situation if their defense can get a stop. Stay tuned for the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut. That's time permitting. Join JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights.
With the new kickoff rule where the covering team has to line up a yard away from the ball, you've really taken away the ability for an onside kick. You just don't see it happen. You don't see the recoveries.
Erickson from his own 1-yard line. Erickson with some speed across the 30, cuts back on Carlson. Erickson still going down the sideline and shoved out of bounds by Harris. A big return for Alex Erickson. No flags on the field.
And you hit the nail on the head. It's not that unusual to see a big return, but we're watching the point of attack up here from our vantage point, and we're just thinking, is there going to be a flag? Is there a block in the back? Is there a hold? I thought it was great blocking. Erickson saw that seam early, made the kicker miss at the tail end, and then turned on the Jets. And the Bengals are now in great field position. The Raiders have to hope that they can keep him out of the end zone here.
A 77-yard return for Erickson. They can hope they can keep him out of the end zone, but they're already in field goal range. So all they need is a field goal to go back up by 2 scores here late in the game. Driscoll keeps it himself and lunges to the 16-yard line. We'd like to welcome those of you who are just joining us. 4:40 to go, fourth quarter. The Bengals trying to stop a 5-game losing streak. They have not won since late October against Tampa Bay. They have a 7-point lead. With James Lofton, I'm Andrew Catalan. Gene Steratore, our rules analyst, back in our New York studio.
When you look at the clock ticking down, Oakland with all 3 timeouts, but you're not in an area of the field where you feel comfortable using those timeouts.
Mixon over 100 yards rushing today on the pitch. Looking for more, and he's got it! Touchdown, Cincinnati! A 16-yard touchdown run for Mixon, his second of the game.
You get this student body right, get 2 blockers out in front, and Mixon with speed, untouched, into the end zone, and just a backbreaker for the Raiders, because I mentioned you want to keep them out of the end zone, because a 10-point margin, you can get close, kick a field goal, maybe recover an onside kick, but now the Raiders are in a position where they would have to score 2 touchdowns, and that's just tough to do with the limited amount of time that they have, even though they have 3 timeouts in the bank.
Been a long time coming for the Bengals. This 5-game losing streak, losing 7 of their last 8 games along the way. Lost key players like Andy Dalton and A.J. Green. They've been working hard. They nearly pulled out a win last week against the Chargers on the road. This has been building for a while, and if they're able to hold on here, they'll finally stop the bleeding as Bullock is on for the extra point. And his kick is good. Joe Mixon, 24 carries, 117 yards, and 2 touchdown runs. And that was all set up by the 77-yard kick return by Alex Erickson. As we told you at the beginning of the day, Cincinnati still mathematically alive for a playoff spot. Obviously, a whole lot has to happen for them to get in, but in the short term, trying to stop this 5-game losing streak. Jeff Driscoll making his 3rd straight start for Cincinnati since Dalton went down, and trying to pick up his first win as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
You know, you mentioned about being mathematically alive. Remember, if you dial the clock back to last year, the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Baltimore Ravens, which pushes the Buffalo Bills into the playoffs. So as a player, you're just telling me that there's still a chance somehow that we can make it.
Dwayne Harris back deep to receive the kickoff from Bullock, and this will be a touchback. A look at our game summary, and Derek Carr still has not thrown an interception since October 7th. This would be his 9th straight game without a pick. 256 yards through the air today for Carr. And he's back out on the field now, down 30-16 with 4:04 to go and all 3 timeouts. Carr, that's caught by Jordy Nelson, who's had a nice day. That's his 6th catch. A pickup of 8, but the clock continues to tick. Jesse Bates had the tackle for the Bengals.
If you're the Raiders, you've got to double team Geno Atkins right in the middle, and then you can run other people around him in a blitz situation.
Carr flushed out, and he goes down. It was Geno Atkins who had him from behind. And Carr, with Hubbard closing quickly, just decides to go to the ground, a loss of 7.
Once again, you get Nick Vigil up close, and when Nick Vigil closes in, you've got to then shift your protection, and it leaves your blocker against Geno Atkins one-on-one, and that's not a good situation.
And they give Atkins a sack on that play. That's his 2nd of the half. And Geno now has 9 sacks on the season. 3rd down and 11. Carr pressure coming again, and Carr is sacked again. Back-to-back plays. And how about the hat trick for Geno? His 3rd sack of the half.
Some players are first quarter players. Some players are second half players. Must take Geno Atkins about 57 minutes to get warmed up. Boy, he just takes him and walks him straight back to the quarterback. And Derek Carr can feel him coming.
And if you're just joining us, Oakland is without both of its starting guards today. Kelechi Osemele and Gabe Jackson both out with injuries. And the interior of that line has allowed the pressure here in the 2nd half. Fair catch by Erickson at his own 40-yard line with just 2:21 to play. So the Bengals now will just try to work some clock. Figure they'll feed Mixon, who's over 100 yards rushing for the 3rd time this season. Future of Marvin Lewis unknown. It looked like at the end of last year he could have been on his way out. They won their last 2 games, including that big win at Baltimore to spoil the Ravens' playoff hopes. So they bring Lewis back. Will they bring him back again? Meanwhile, for John Gruden, a tumultuous week with general manager Reggie McKenzie being fired on Monday, and then the city of Oakland suing the Raiders. So now the Raiders don't know where they're playing their home games next year. And we met with Gruden about that, and he said, look, it's not my concern right now where we're playing or who the general manager will be. I'm the head coach. I'm just trying to win a football game. But clearly it's something, as Derek Carr told us, that the Raiders have been discussing in their locker room. How could you not talk about everything going on? Those of you who just saw the Dolphins lose to the Vikings, we welcome you to Cincinnati, where the Bengals have a 30-16 lead on the Oakland Raiders with 2:16 to go. Oakland just called timeout. They have 2 remaining and the 2-minute warning. With the Hall of Famer James Lofton, I'm Andrew Catalan, as Marvin Lewis and the Bengals try to stop a 5-game losing streak.
And a game that was in the balance until the last kickoff, which Alex Erickson took back, put them in touchdown range. They scored the touchdown on a 14-point margin.
A game-changing play on special teams as Mixon creeps through the middle and a late flag comes in. A Cincinnati team without Dalton, A.J. Green, and Tyler Boyd, who earlier in the game went over 1,000 yards receiving, but then was lost to a right knee injury.
Holding, defense number 90. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That penalty on Jonathan Hankins gives Cincinnati a 1st down.
You're trying to keep the offensive lineman away from the climbing block to reach the linebacker, and you see Hankins being blocked by 2 people, and he's trying to keep Clint Bowling on him so that he can't get to the linebacker.
John Gruden has had a few words for the officials today, and he's having a few more with 2:12 to go. Here's Mixon. And Gruden will call timeout, stopping the clock with 2:07 to play. And now 1 remaining for the Raiders. Take a look at our game recap from today here in Cincinnati. And Mixon with 2 rushing touchdowns. That one was his first of the day. Lee Smith a touchdown in his 3rd straight game. And then Alex Erickson earlier here in the 4th quarter, a 77-yard kick return. It led to this, Mixon's 2nd rushing score. Joe Mixon moving closer to 1,000 yards rushing. He's at 986.
And late in the ball game, when you crowd the line, all you need is that one little crease to get through, because then you're all the way to the deep safety. Look at all the defenders up here to stop Mixon.
2nd and 7, Mixon, and he gets a couple of more. And Gruden will call his final timeout before the 2-minute warning. So they are out of timeouts with 2:03 to play. Mentioned this before, but Marvin Lewis was hired in 2003 by the Cincinnati Bengals. Since then, the Raiders have had 10 head coaches. John Gruden, the 10th in that span. One of them was Hugh Jackson, who's now a special assistant to Marvin Lewis after he was fired by the Browns. There's Hugh. We'd like to welcome those of you who saw the Titans defeat the Giants at MetLife Stadium. You're in Cincinnati now, where the Bengals have a 2-touchdown lead on the Raiders with 2:03 to go, and 3rd down and 4. Jeff Driscoll looking to throw to Erickson. He's got it for a 1st down. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Cincinnati on the verge of stopping a 5-game losing streak.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, reminding you not to drink and ride your horse. And by Lowe's.
They are ready for the holidays here in Cincinnati. This will be the 7th straight home finale the Bengals have won under Marvin Lewis. Their final 2 games of the season are both on the road, and all the Bengals need to do here, take 3 knees, and they'll move on to Cleveland next week for their Week 16 game in the Battle of Ohio. It'll be the first NFL win as a starting quarterback for Jeff Driscoll, originally a 6th-round pick by the 49ers in 2016. And since Andy Dalton went down, Driscoll has taken over. As Marvin Lewis said, a big opportunity for Driscoll. A lot of times this late-round pick or an undrafted quarterback doesn't even get a chance to show what they have in the NFL, but Driscoll is getting that opportunity here down the stretch for Cincinnati, and now has a win to his name. Meanwhile, John Gruden and the Raiders will make the long trek home to Oakland for what could be the final home game ever in the city of Oakland, with next year up in the air, the city of Oakland suing the Raiders, and as of now there is no 2019 home for the Raiders.
Part of that conversation is that they don't want to pay the city the rent while the city would be suing them to play there in 2019.
Could be an interesting Monday night in Oakland as Mark Davis, the owner, and the Raiders host the Denver Broncos. As Derek Carr told us yesterday, he wants to campaign to have the Raiders play their home games at Fresno State next year. That's where Carr played collegiately before joining the Raiders. Cincinnati stops a 5-game losing streak, and they go to 6-8, still holding out hope of some type of miracle finish to get in the playoffs, while the Raiders fall to 3-11 on the year. (30-16) the final here in Cincinnati. Don't forget, coming up, it's the Patriots and Steelers here, a doubleheader day on CBS. Here's a look at the updated AFC playoff picture. You see New England and Pittsburgh right now, the 3 and 4 spots, but Baltimore with their win now goes to 8 and 6. So does Indianapolis and Tennessee, and the Dolphins with a tough loss today in the wild card picture, falling to 7 and 7. Bengals at 6 and 8 with their final 2 games on the road against division opponents at Cleveland and then at Pittsburgh in Week 17. Jeff Driscoll a winner for the first time in his NFL career as a starting quarterback. The final score, Cincinnati 30, Oakland 16. Don't forget, coming up next, a great AFC matchup as Tom Brady and the Patriots head to Pittsburgh to take on Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. For the Hall of Famer James Lofton, this is Andrew Catalon saying so long from Cincinnati. We'll get you back to our New York studio and the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut right after this. Bengals win it 30-16.